This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, hi, all, good morning. Uh, is my voice clear?
Yeah, now we can hear. Earlier, I couldn't hear anything. Not sure whether it was started earlier.
Yeah, yeah, early it's not started. Yes, no, it's not. I'm going
Oh,
to
okay.
start.
Got it.
Okay, so meanwhile, if you're facing any kind of audio issue, please let me know immediately, or otherwise, just drop a message so that I can check from my end.
Uh, sure, Vivek.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep,
So
thank
I'm
you.
going to be share my screen. Yes. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes,
Yeah. Uh, Going to the course side, yes. So first of all, from my end, like I have 10 years of experience in automation. So I used to work in multiple MNCs. Currently, I'm working in a banking domain, US-based banking domain company. So overall, I have my entire career in automation. I used to start as an Java developer initially, then I moved to automation. So I have experience on multiple tools like Selenium, Selenium with Java, Selenium with Python, Selenium with C Sharp. Uh, then um, so Protractor I used to work. Yepswag I used to work. So these are many tools. So even though in latest tools as a playwright also I used to work. So from these all of the UI automation tools. Other than that, I have an experience in performance automation, I have an experience in API automation. So this is from my side. So today we are going to be discuss about Selenium with Java. So what is Selenium exactly? What Selenium is doing? So before going to do that, yes, we all know that Selenium is an automation tool. Yes, Selenium is an automation tool. By using Selenium, we can able to automate the actions. So exactly what Selenium is going to be do, yes, I'll let you know. So before going to that, what is an automation? Yes. So here, automation is not a big thing. Yes, whenever you're trying to use a small software to automate another software, then we used to call it as an automation in software industry. So just we are going to use the software to automate another software. So here we are using that software to validate the functionality of the software, what we want to test. So here in market, you can able to find multiple kind of automation tools. You can able to find multiple automations like functional automation, or performance automation, or robotic process automation. These are the very common words used here in market. So before going to that, yes, I want to give you some clarification about these two main automation things in market right now, popular words right now. So functional automation and process automation. So here, functional automation is nothing but here we are going to be validate the functionality of the software, particular functionality of the software. Is that software working fine or not? Is that software um, reaches all the requirement of a user or not? Is it responding properly or not? Is giving a particular output or not? Yes, here we are going to be validate. We are going to be asset the output from the software. Then we are going to be give the clearance here. But here, if you see here, Selenium, UFT, REST issue, test complete. Yes, these all are the tools which belongs to the functional automation. So another most much popular nowadays is process automation. So what is meant by process automation? Here, the main intention while you are working with the functional automation, the main intention of a user to validate the functionality of software. Just we are trying to validate the functionality. It's working fine or not. It's a reach. It, it able to meet the user requirements or not. That's we are going to be validate. But here, while you are talking about the process automation, our main goal is not a testing. Here we are going to be automate the process end to end process. So while we are talking about the functionality of automation, so here our goal is the testing. While we are talking about the process automation, so here goal is not a testing. We are going to be automate end-to-end process, like importing the documents and we are converting to some other database and exporting to some other hardware. I'm sorry, some other memory devices. Yes, these kind of processes we are going to be automate entered. This is one kind of basic example. So mostly under this process automation, we are going to be use some of the tools which are developed on top of AI. Like if you see RPA tools, like robotic process automation tools, we are going to be used. AA automation anywhere, Blue Prism, AI Path. Yes, these things we are going to be used. So other than this, lot of tools is there in market. These three are the paid tools. Other than these three paid tools, we are having some of the free tools also in market. Even though those tools are also using the Selenium libraries. Yes. So what is test automation? So yes, as I told you, test automation is nothing but whenever you're trying to test a functionality of a software by using the another software, we used to call it as a test automation. So here the testing is done by validating the actual outputs with the expected outputs. So exactly like if you are in a functional testing feel might be you can get it very easily or otherwise. So here testing is nothing but we are having the expected result. Yes, if you are trying to click on, if you're trying to enter username as Vivek, password as something and click on the sign in button, yes, you're supposed to be land into the inbox space. So here that expected condition is you're supposed to be land into the inbox space. So that actual condition we are going to be taken. Yes, you are going to be enter the username, password, and click on the sign in. Yes, what is the actual? You are you're landed in inbox space or you're moved to some forbidden error page or phone to error or something else. What kind of things you're going to be get? So that result we are going to be validate the with the actual result. So if both are same, our automation scripts are going to be make it as a pass or otherwise it's going to be tell you your validation was failed. So this is a simple scenario. This is the way like it is a high level way how we are going to be validate a functionality of a software in automation. So going to that, why we need to do automation? So we are telling like automation testing. So testing is not a new word in software. This is there from initial days onwards. So earlier people used to do the testing. We used to call that as a manual testing. So already we have a manual testing. Why we need to do the automation? Yes, that is the question here. So why we need automation? Already we have a manual people. Already people are using to do the automation. Sorry, you just do the testing. They are validating all the things. Then why we need to do automation testing here? Yes. So whenever your application keep on growing, that means whenever you keep on adding the features to our application, we are the yes the areas which we have to test is keep on increasing. So whenever you are inserting, like whenever you are adding a new feature, it's a small or big, it's not a matter. Whenever you're trying to add a feature, definitely we have to validate that how we are validating is that new feature working fine or not, like that. At the time, definitely we have to validate that new feature is not disturbing any of the existing feature. Yes, you're supposed to be make sure that new feature is not disturbing the existing features. So whenever the application keep on increasing, then the number of existing features is also keep on increasing. So that the number of areas you have to validate also keep on increasing. At the same time, same features we have to test for long time also. So every time we have to validate these all the scenarios, same kind of scenarios. So whenever these things are keep on increasing, if you rely on the manual resources, yes, it may take much time. Obviously, obviously it will take the much time. Even cost also increases. So you can able to reduce those time and cost by using the automation. So automation execution is 70 to 75% much faster than manual execution. At the end of the demo, you people can able to experience that. Then it's a wide test coverage. Yes, it's going to be cover a wide area. If you're asking some manual resource to validate some area of software, they may chances to miss something. But once you wrote the code, and if you keep on running, there is no chance of missing anything. What the code you wrote, exactly that code is going to be executed, so that it's going to be cover each and everything. There is no chance of missing. So that's why the automation results are most reliable. Yes. And whenever yes, whenever you are going to be whenever you automated all these scenarios, so human interference is not required, so that there is no chances of human errors. Everything what you automated, those are going to be keep on executing. Then it's validating with the real-time results, and it will give you the accurate results. That's why automation results are most efficient. It's going to be increase the efficiency of a testing. At the same time, the tests are reusable. The same kind of code what you've written somewhere, yes, those may use for some other areas. You can able to reuse that. At the same time, once you wrote the code, you can execute that code any number of times in a single day, in a product, in a regression time. In a single day, you if you want to retest multiple times, yes, you can able to run it multiple times in a short period of time, so that you can get the accuracy. So whenever you want, yes, you can able to test frequently. You can able to get the results frequently. Yes, more cycles of execution we can able to achieve through the automation. That's very correct. So whenever this agile and DevOps coming into the picture, whenever the company started following the agile methodologies, so as per the agile, one of the safe agile, this is one of the latest scenario. So if you are using the same, most of the enterprise companies are using the safe agile. Yes, as per the agile, 90% of automatable test is supposed to be automated before the release. So that is a thing most of the companies follows. That's why automation testers are much important and required in the team. Yes, what is a selenium? The base, yes. Before slide, we in lots of some of the last slides we used to discuss like what is the automation. So automation is nothing but whenever we are trying to test a software by using another software, that we used to call as a automation. So here we are using some suite of softwares to automate to test our softwares. That suite of softwares we used to call it as a selenium. So here selenium is a special kind of feature. So exactly how exactly selenium can able to do that? Yes. So selenium itself is not having any intelligence to validate the software or your application. So here selenium is a capability of mimic the human behavior, like how human can able to click on a software, how human can able to drag and drop or scroll or click or right click or enter or type something like that. Yes, exactly. Selenium also can able to do that. So Selenium having those features. So accordingly, we are going to be use those features like we are going to be tell Selenium, please enter the username there, please enter the password there, then please click on the sign in button. Once you can click on that, please validate you are in inbox space or not. Yes, these things we are going to be just a minute. Yes. So these are the different versions of Selenium we are having, like Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, or Selenium Grid. So here, Selenium IDE is nothing but integrated development environment. So it's kind of an add-on to the browser. By using Selenium IDE, we can able to do record and playback. Yes, we can able to record the actions and we can able to play back those actions whenever we required. Then Selenium RC is a Selenium remote control. Now that those RCs are not there in market, this was deprecated, but this is a one of the version. Then Selenium WebDriver that we are going to be learning this course. So Selenium WebDriver. So Selenium, then Selenium Grid, that's a different concept. We are not going to be touch that. Yes, why Selenium only? So lot of softwares is there in the market. Why we are going to be choose the Selenium? So we are having like Cypress and Playwright. Those are the very popular tools right now. They are increasing the market also. But still, why Selenium we are going to learn? For the first thing, this is a purely open source software. Even though some of the other open source softwares is there in the market for the automation, but those softwares, the features what we are going to be get from the Selenium is very unique and very high level, very different features which are not available in some other softwares. So another thing is support multiple browsers. That so in a market now I can tell like Selenium is the only open source software automation tool which supports multi-browser support very efficiently. Yes, without any issue, we can able to execute scripts in Chrome, in IE, in Mozilla, in Opera, in Safari. Yes, it's very efficient multi-browser support is there in Selenium, which is not there in current tools which are there in market. Some other tools like support multiple programming languages. Also, this is also one of the important thing. So why people are like most of companies are choosing the Selenium along with the programming language? Why? Because they are trying to choose the programming language based on those application. Those application. If those application like if that application developed on top of C sharp, yes, obviously companies are showing interest to select Selenium with C sharp. Why? Because C sharp resources will be available in in company. At the same time, it's obviously it's going to be supported well with Selenium C sharp. So like that. So Selenium, Java. So still in market, most of the tools, like 90% of the tools are sorry, not tools, applications are developed on top of Java. That's why still Selenium Java is very high in market. So Selenium is the only tool which supports multiple languages. You can write Selenium Java, Selenium C Sharp, Selenium Python, Selenium C, Selenium Perl, with Perl, like multiple tools you can able to use. Multiple languages. So the other competitor tools which are there in market currently, those tools is not having multi-programming language implementation support. Then supports multiple operating systems is it supports Windows, it supports Unix or Mac, supports multiple frameworks. It has a large user base and helps the communities. So these are the analysis. So before going to that, I want to give you a clarification. It supports multiple programming languages means I told like it's going to be supported Java, Python, C Sharp, something else, right? You people might be confused why we have to need the Java, why we have to need Python or something else. So we are the testers. We are going to be test the things. Why we need to learn the programming language? Yes, I'll give you the clarification for that at the end of the slide. So these are some of the reasons. Yes, you can obviously if people came here. That means obviously you did some of the Google on Selenium. Obviously, you people know about things. Yes. So just we can do one high level of automation, very simple automation. Just I want to show you. Yes. Before going to that, any questions from anyone?
So, it's a high sir.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what kind
Vivek.
of
Yeah, please.
Yeah, hi. So what kind of automation can we do for backend database validation, especially like the heterogeneous database validation using Selenium? Not even
So you,
heterogeneous, like at least for one database, I
mhm,
just wanted to do some ETL validations per se.
mhm.
So just like probably I can just give SQL query and get the results through Selenium or
Yeah. So here, that's right. Uh, so if your requirement is a part of UI and backend automation, then you can go with the Selenium. So like if your requirement is fully based on the backend scenarios, then that's a different scenario. So here, by using the Selenium, yes, we can able to automate the UI things as per your requirement. Yes, you are supposed to be fire a SQL query, then you are supposed to be get the response, and you need to validate that. If that is our requirement, yes, we can able to do that too. Like for example, I have a application. In that application, we are going to be register for something. Yes, as per UI. So my requirement here, yes, I supposed to be logged into that particular UI application UI. Then I need to enter all the details from the UI. Then I need to click on register. Once I get the register successful message, yes, I supposed to be validate is that user available in backend or not. If that is a requirement, like that type of requirement, then I used to do all these front-end validations. I'll do all these front-end validations with Selenium actions. Then I'll file the SQL query by using Selenium library, sorry, Java libraries. Then I'll get the response in a string format. Then again, I'm going to be validate is that string contains my username, like what are the details I entered or not. Just like that, we can able to validate. But
oh,
if
again we need to parse and
yeah, sorry.
compare. So if we are getting in a string format, like for example 200 columns, again we need to parse it and again compare row by row, column by column. Is it? Uh,
Yeah, like yes, if you want to compare row by row, that's a one scenario. Like if you want to
uh,
validate is that a response is having my name, like that details what I entered or not, then just you can use the dot compare, string dot compare, then you can use, right? Or string dot contains. Is that string contains username, something like first name, last name, what you entered or not? Yes, you can get it very simple. No need to go by row by row, right? Like
yeah,
or otherwise, before register, I went to the database, I'll get the number of rows. Then after register, I get the number of rows. Then I can validate the difference in number of rows. Is that number of rows increased or not?
got it. And for demo purposes, can we use Selenium to connect to Snowflake and do all our database validations during our course?
During our course, yes, yeah. So that's why before going to that, yes, you are supposed to be very clear. Is your application validation is only for backend or front end and backend? That's you're supposed to be very clear. So if it only deals with the backend kind of ETL validations, yes, Selenium is not intended for that. So might be you will not get exact result.
Yeah, but a lot of people out there are using Selenium for backend validation also. I'm
Yeah.
just curious and
y-
how they're
Okay.
leveraging this one.
Yes. So people who are using the Selenium for the background, like a backend validation, so there might be a kind of UI also there might be. So why? Because Selenium is only a UI automation tool. Selenium is purely a UI automation tool. Selenium can't able to connect with the database. Selenium can't able to connect with the files, or even though Selenium is not able to handle Excel or something else. Selenium is simple tool. It can able to handle UI objects what you can able to see on browser. That's it. Even though Selenium is not able to handle desktop based application, that means
So in that case, Snowflake is also browser-based database, right? So will that help?
yes, definitely. If that, if you can able to open your application on a web browser, then you can able to do anything with the Selenium.
Okay, okay. So as a demo, like, can we try tomorrow? Like, if we can able to connect to SQL Snowflake using Selenium and perform a scenario.
Look, how you are going to be launch that application, what you're talking about, Snowflakes?
Yeah, it is just a browser-based cloud database, right? So
So
all
yeah,
that
you
we
have a yeah, you have a URL. You are going to be
that, that
launch into the browser, and it's going to be launched, right?
that's it. That's it. Typically, in corporate environment, we use SSO. But for demo purpose, I can create a trail version, a trail account, and put it in the WhatsApp group, the link and username and password. So probably we can, and we'll create some temporary tables also and be ready. So that way we
Yeah.
can work
Okay.
on
Fine.
that.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, probably it will
I'll
take time. Actually, I'll do that.
mm, I'll show you things like yes, you can see here. Here it is also in table format. Like you can see, you can able to search in this table. Like if you want to add like in this scenario, we can able to add the employees also. It's kind of demo application. You can able to add that also. So if you add any of the user, that user is going to be reflect here in this table,
Right, right.
right? Okay, if you want to validate that, like the user what I added, is there reflecting in this page or not? Yes, we can do that. So like in your requirement of adding a user from here, yes, I want to connect with the database directly and I want to fetch from that scenario. Yes, we can do that.
Right. Yeah, I'll send the trail version of Snowflake. I'll create a trail version of Snowflake and we'll share the credentials. That way, we'll take it from there.
Yeah,
I
sure.
mean, the reason why I'm telling is like if that works, then probably the my purpose of this course will be towards the ultimate goal is towards that. I'm okay, comfortable to listen to the UI validation also, but my primary goal would be like automating, creating a framework to automate the backend validation, especially Snowflake through browser.
Okay, yeah, yeah, fine, yeah.
Yeah, we can use Python also. We can create Python framework and do that also. But yeah, client is having yeah, essentially Snowflake. So and they have the Selenium WebDriver being widely used across the floor. So just thought of leveraging that as well and create some frameworks using that.
Okay, fine, yeah. Yes,
Okay,
I
so
got it.
yeah, sorry for taking more time, but yeah,
No
I
issue, no
wanted
issue.
the motto of
People
the
may refresh in this time. They may
right,
bore
right.
or continuous slides.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have this space. So simple thing. Just I'm giving you what Selenium can able to do. Selenium is not able to do any extra things, like it's not able to do nothing. So just the Selenium, you thought like it Selenium is a normal lemon. Like how you are, if you want to direct our grandma to use a mobile. So how you used to tell to go there, click on the green button, you can see the keypad. Yes, while you are getting the call, just click on green button if you want to answer. If you don't want to answer, just click on the red button. If you don't want to respond anything, just you want to keep that mobile silent, please click a side button. So how you are going to be give the directions to your grandma who are not aware about the mobiles while they are using mobile. So like that, here Selenium is also a simple layman can able to do the actions how human being can able to, like how human being can able to enter, how human being can able to click, how we are doing the drag and drop, how we are doing the scroll. Yes, these things. So this comparison, result comparison, like decision making, these type of features is not there in Selenium. So to make Selenium intelligent, we are going to be introduce the Java. So by using the Java, we are going to be giving the directions to the Selenium. Yes. So here, my requirement, just I want to enter this URL, then I want to enter the username, password, and click on the login. Yes, you can see. Okay. So here we are going to be using Selenium WebDriver. So that's why it's supposed to be called WebDriver here. Yes. Sorry, why my clips was lagging. Just give a minute. Yes. So I'm going to be use. So just you can call WebDriver. This is Selenium thing we are supposed to be use WebDriver. Then we are going to give some alias in this one. That is the driver. You can give any name here. WebDriver driver. So here now, what type of browser you want to use? I want to launch a Chrome browser. Initially, we are supposed to be launch the browser, right? Yes, I want to launch a browser driver equal to new Chrome driver. Yes. What exactly this line will do? So if I execute, whenever this line driver equal to new Chrome driver going to be executed, at that time your application is going to be your Selenium is going to be launch a browser. It's already running. Yes, you can see it launches a browser. The first execution might be slow from my in my system. Yes, you can see here. So whenever I execute this scenario, this WebDriver driver, whenever I'm calling driver equal to new Chrome driver, is going to be launch a browser. Yes, it's launched a browser. So if you observe here, the browser which you are opening in Chrome and the browser which Selenium opened, both are different. The browser which is opened by the Selenium is not having any kind of libraries or add-ons or some kind of bookmarks or your login details or something else. It's a different scenario. So at the same time, it's having a pop-up like Chrome is being controlled by an automated test software. So it's like I don't want to use a separate thing. Just I want to launch a Chrome browser which I'm using regularly. Yes, if you want to do like that, yes, we can do that also. Okay, okay. No, but you can observe that the screen which is opened by the Selenium in a small in size. Okay, yes. Then after launching the empty browser, I want to insert the URL here. Then driver dot write get string format. Here you have to give the URL. So this is the URL. Yes, you can give here. So now you can observe. Now I'm going to be run it. It's going to be launch your browser. That is going to be launch URL in the browser. Yes, you can see here it launches the browser. One browser is opened and it launches the URL also here. Yes, you can see that. Okay, if that is the scenario, in that scenario, like you can observe that this window is small in size when you compare with the window which is opened by yourself. This is full screen mode. Like, yes, I want to maximize the size, and how I can able to. Yes, if you want to maximize it, you can do that too. Before launching the URL itself, I'm trying to maximize it. Yes, you can write driver dot manage dot window dot. Now you can see here. Yes, you can observe that the browser was maximized and it's launched the URL here. So here in this scenario, it's going to be launched. This might be slow. My due to network issue is loading very slow. Okay, fine then. Okay. Then my requirement after entering the browser, after launching the URL website, just I want to enter the username and password and click on the login. Yes. The main thing, the main scenario of Selenium is going to be start here. So I want to ask Selenium to enter the username. Yes, if I ask someone else, like someone a new person, if I ask to enter the username, then how he came to know where you are supposed to be enter the username? So here, if you are a human being, you can able to see here is username is there, so that this is username text box I supposed to be enter. But Selenium is not having any intelligence. It's not having any of the memory to keep the past experiences. So how Selenium, how we are going to be directed? Yes, exactly. So here we are supposed to be tell to the Selenium what type of action Selenium need to do and where exactly it need to do. That means we are supposed to be give the address of this particular username text box field. This is entire page. In this entire page, this username text box field itself is having one address. We are supposed to be identify that address, and we are need to pass that address to the Selenium. Then we are all you need to ask Selenium, please go to this address and please do type action. Yes. So how we came to know about the address of this particular field? Yes, it's very simple. You can go there, so you can right click on it, where which field address you want, which element address you want. That address we used to call it as a web element in Selenium point of view. You can mouse over on an element and click on inspect. Whenever you click on the inspect, it's going to be open one developer mode. Yes, you can see here. Yes. So you can see here, this is a tag which is representing this particular text field. So that's why whenever I'm mousing over on this particular tag, you can see that this text box is highlighting. You can observe that. Okay. So here is having this is a tag. So in this tag, the first here you can see input. Here you can see div. This the first word we used to call it as a tag name. This is a name for this entire tag. So here input is a name for the entire tag, and this tag is having multiple attributes like class is one attribute, name is one attribute, and placeholder is one attribute. autofocus is one attribute. Yes, like that is having multiple attributes. So here there is no rule the tag should be have this attribute, or there is no rule tag should not have this attribute like that. So as of now, my tag is having name attribute. So we can't able to use all the attributes. Selenium is supporting only some of the attributes like name, ID, class, link text, these things. We can discuss about those scenarios very clearly in session. So and it's we can identify the element by using the username. Yes, I'm copying this name attribute value username. Now we can move to the Selenium. Yes, hi Selenium, that means the driver. Hi Selenium, please find an element. Please find an element by using name attribute, right? By using name attribute, yes, we are going to provide name. So what is the value of that name attribute? Yes, the value of name attribute username, we copied that. So we are supposed to be paste. That's it. Now Selenium can able to identify the element in that page. Then after that, we are supposed to be asked the action what you want to do. Yes, I want to enter a username here. So generally, what is the action it required to enter the username while you are doing it manually? What is the action you're supposed to be do? If you are doing manually, so what is the action it required? So yes, we are supposed to do the typing, right? For that one, we have a method in Selenium that is called send keys. Like that. Now I want to enter the password too. Simple scenario. Again, you can go there, you can inspect it, you can find the attributes of that one. Yes, it's also having the name attribute. You can copy it. Hey driver, please find an element by using name attribute again. Name attribute value is password. After identifying that, yes, please enter a username with name as admin123. Then after that, what you are supposed to do is I want to click on it, right? Yes, let me go there, inspect it, inspect it. Yes, so type we got able to identify this directly so that we are supposed to be. I'm going to write an expert for this one. So what is expert, how to write it, these scenarios we can discuss later in the session. However, please find an element this time by using the expert. But the expert value is missing what I wrote. Then after identifying that what we are supposed to do. I want to click on this login button, right? Yes. For that also we have a method click. That's it. Just you can. Yes. After entering the URL, just I'm asking to wait for some time because my network is very slow, it's taking much time to load. That's why I'm asking my Selenium to wait for some time. So some time is nothing but 1000 10,000 milliseconds. That means 10 seconds. Okay, you can see now. Yes, you can see here. It's launch the browser, enter the URL, then later it's enter the username, password, and click on the name. That's why we are in this page. You can observe that. Yes, if you want me to run it again, yes, I'll do it. Please observe one more time clearly. Yes, it's going to be launch the URL. Sorry, it's launch the browser, and now it's maximized. It's launch the URL. Yes, now you can observe it's going to be enter the username and password. Yes, see, admin and password entered. Click on the login. Just click on the login button. Now, yes, now E or inside the application. That means like login was successful. Yes, in this way we are going to be automate. Okay, so as of now we used to talk a lot about the Java. So how much Java is required, like how much we are supposed to be learn. So why we need to learn these things is already I give the clarification why we need to learn the Java. So how much Java is required? Yes. So how much Java required is nothing but we are going to be learn from scratch. So in this course we are going to be learn the Java from very scratch, like not at all a uh, top of our you are the reasons why we have to learn. What are the advantages of using the
Did he drop off? Looks like he dropped out. Some sort of internet connections. Vivek, you're there? Hello?
His mic is on, but we could not hear him.
Yeah. Vivek, we couldn't hear you.
these all the things we are going to do. Yes. Yeah. Any question?
Yes, Vivek. So I have a quick doubt now. So you sometimes like we'll be having a kind of long running
Someone is
jobs.
on. Yeah, please.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Vivek, looks like your
Hmm.
connection is unstable.
Yes.
Looks like your connection is
Yeah, that's why I
unstable. Like,
stopped my sharing. Yeah,
can you
yeah,
hear?
yeah. I'm facing that issue. That's why I stopped my sharing. Might be now bandwidth will
Okay.
support.
So my doubt is like sometimes we'll be
Yeah, I can
having
able
a
to
kind
hear
of
you.
long.
Please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. I can.
Okay. So sometimes we'll be having a kind of long running jobs like 15 to 20 minutes. So in that case, how can we? I mean, uh, we can trigger the job by control M or Swagger, like whatever. In that case, how do we validate the data? Like, say, suppose like that job will run after like, I mean, it will take some 15 to 20 minutes to run the job. And once the job is done, then we have to validate the data. So how can, what would be the kind of easiest way from Selenium perspective? How can we automate that?
Okay. So your question, like if testing is there, like execution, if execution take more than 15 to 20 minutes, I think it's a 15 to 20 minutes is not a big deal. Like in my scenario, like we have a suite of test cases, like we used to execute them. It's going to be executed more than hours. Here, how to validate the data? So how to validate the data is nothing but like data validation is a part of our automation, right? So there is no need of human interference. So we no need to do it manually. So this is part of automation.
No, no. Actually, my
So
doubt is it's not about just one suite. It is about just one test case. Say, I mean, we'll be having like 2,000 to 2,500 test regression test scenarios, but out of which like there were like something around 5 to 10 scenarios which run via control M. So how does that work? Is like we need to kickstart the control M or Postman, whatever, like via API, like we'll hit the job, and that particular job will take like 15 to 20 minutes to run, and then it will save the files into the SharePoint. So we have to go and compare the files with our existing or with a database. So in that
okay.
case, how do we do with Selenium, like not just giving a kind of wait time like 15 or 20 minutes, other than that, like do we have any kind of like legitimate solution for that?
Okay, okay, I understood your question now. So, as per your question, your question is like if you have a scenario, so you're supposed to be like you're supposed to be create some of the components, some of the things by using the APIs. Then
Mhm.
it will take some of time, like 15 to 20 minutes, to complete the process in backend. Once it's
Yes.
completed, that your like your target, like your result will be displayed on UA after 20 to 30 minutes. Then you're supposed to be validate that component in UA is displaying or not after 20 minutes
No, no, not
time.
on the UI. Usually the files will save in the shared drive. So, for example, like even from database, uh, I mean, how
From
do
the
we
data.
automate that? Like, because usually, like, I don't think like it's a kind of reasonable solution. Like, wait, kicking the job from API. I mean, we can automate the stuff by kicking the job, but how do we make sure, like, other than waiting 15 or 20 minutes, is there any possible way for that to
Yeah,
automate?
generally in those scenarios, what we used to do, so it's kind of fun thing. So multiple solutions is there for that one. So based on the like time availability at the time of regression. So like the period of regression, how much
Mhm.
like how many days you are having for the regression. Like if you have a short time or you have some efficient like multiple resources is available or not. It's based on the different scenarios, and some of the companies are not include those type of test cases in an automation. Why? Because if you want to do the automation, you are not supposed to be having the multiple dependencies. That is the
Okay.
one thing. So most of the things, most of the scenarios, we are not supposed to include them into the automation. And at the same time, for your scenario, there is no manual interference. There is no chance of failing. That's the only time waiting is a constraint. In that scenario, what we used to do, we have we are going to have two types of jobs. So first job is a setup scenario. So that setup scenario is going to be executed as a first part of regression execution. So that means in first part we are going to be create all these jobs, and we used to run it by the backend. Then job two, or some other job is there, in that job we are going to be validate the things which are created in backend or somewhere, which are there as a result of the jobs what you did in first scenario. So obviously time gap will be there. We used to give some time gap between job one execution to job two execution. So that means just we used to split this test case as a two parts.
Oh yeah.
Then split one will execute as part of primary execution. Then split two will execute after some time. Like we are going to be give some enough time. It's not only 50 to 20 minutes. We are going to be give some enough time like 2 hours. Then after that it's going to be executed. So that is another scenario. So here in this part, in your scenario, Selenium is not going to be uh, play any role here. So if you want to use APIs, so Postman, these are all the things for the manual automation of Postman also possible. Or otherwise, in my scenarios, we are using Java REST assured libraries along with the Selenium. And we are recently we are using Karate framework with the BDD. Then we are going to create the sum of the things. Then we are going to validate the results.
I mean, sorry, I was not aware of this karate. Is it a kind of another framework like WebDriver?
Sorry.
Like WebDriver, is karate a kind of separate framework?
Yes, karate is another framework we are having.
Okay,
Yes, karate is another framework, like it's another framework to automate. It's kind of supporting BDD.
okay, yeah, got it. Yeah, thank you. I got the answer.
Yeah. So any other questions from anyone?
Nothing from mine, but in general, like how long does that training will take? And
Yeah,
uh,
45 days.
45 days. Okay. And one other thing, like, will it be possible to have this training, like, not at, I mean, before year 7:30? I mean, like 6:30 to 7:30 PST, something like that.
Yeah, that thing we can discuss among like among the channel. Like we have to take the people's opinion also, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So based on the majority, we can do that.
Sure.
So most probably that is the time for the sessions. Yes, we can do that. It's not a big deal.
Okay. Yeah. That's all from my end. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. So any other questions like Lavanya, JP? Okay, nothing more. Yes, we can conclude it. Yeah. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Take care.